gay-ass name for a gay-ass podcast.
It's a gay celeb on That's a Gay-Ass Podcast because Jeff Consoletti is bringing you some of the biggest, gayest pride festivals around the conch. Jeff Consoletti, thank you for coming on this gay-ass podcast. How is your gay day?
My gay day is going great. It's just gotten gayer. So, I mean, it always starts pretty gay when you work in the pride space. And
yeah.
Now I'm on the Gay Ass Podcast. So, we're fully on the rainbow today.
Well, also, are you calling, confirm or deny the rumors, you're calling from West Hollywood where you live? Is that correct?
I actually am not today. I'm calling from my alternate location in Palm Springs.
Jeff, you're living the gosh damn dream. I want to have a second location in Palm Springs as well.
I'm here in Palm Springs where we have a couple of events. It's festival season. So I feel like I have like festival rasp happening. And that's what happens after Coachella. And as you just continue on the on the train. But
would you say that festival rasp is a similar sound to sorority girl scream voice?
They go hand in hand, I think, a little bit.
Coachella is sort of like sorority girl homeland, I would say.
Yeah, they're there. It's sorority girls and gays. So then it's just all the rasp together.
Okay, well, this is why we have so much to get into because I am not really, I'm being fully transparent here. I'm not fully a concert festival Coachella. Coachella sounds like a nightmare, if I'm being honest. However, when and if I get a VIP situation, I will absolutely do Coachella and enjoy that. I've just been hearing about the Ubers. I've been hearing about the lines, and I love. Yeah, so I think when I was 12, I
can't even sugarcoat that. That is a nightmare.
I went to a Dave Matthews Band concert at 12 years old and had to wait in a 3-hour line with all my brothers in a car. And from that moment on, I said, concerts might not be for me.
I mean, it's funny, making my life in music and live events and concerts, because similarly, I only want to be backstage and with the wristband that gives all of every act. There's always another level to the access that you can get. So I'm actually always on the hunt for what that is, so I can go one less space where anyone else can.
Well, listen, Jeff, you probably are the person with the most decked out wrist bandages, because let's tell the listeners about the deets. So you are the founder and CEO of JJLA, which basically produces West Hollywood Pride. And as much as I just said I'm not a concert girly, West Hollywood Pride, I have loved every single year. And I'm not just buttering your biscuit. It's where I feel like I've been able to see some acts that I never thought I would be able to see. It's also, I mean, the lineup this year is nutso. And so Jeff Consoletti himself was a part of the team bringing the lineup of the Pussycat Dolls doing their only stop in LA at Pride. Jade, Ava Max, my girl, Ashley Simpson will be there this year. But I also got to see Kesha do an incredible set in the recent years.
A couple years ago.
Oh my God. Yes. Kylie Minogue was the 2024 headliner. Doechii, Keke Palmer, Carly Rae Jepsen, Idina Menzel, I'm going to be asking you about. You've had Muna, Kim Petras, Trixie Mattel. It's fully insane what you've been able to do over these years. And you really are a businesswoman. So I find you to be very inspirational, but also you're a hot, bald man. And I find that to be equally exciting as well. So before we get into the hits of it all with the festival, when did you embrace being a hot bald guy? Because hair transplants are all the rage right now. Tell me your bald history.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's funny because I'm only a few years older than when it started, but I was in somewhere in my mid 20s and had just noticed the things starting to thin.
Yeah.
And it was mostly a back here thing. And my team will tell you that they know I'm about to lose it or going through it when I'm on site and I start rubbing my head. So it's kind of always been a thing of mine. And I just, was going through one of those early in my career and noticed that hey, wait, where's it all going? But also in doing so, kind of noticed that my head's kind of nice and round. So I started shaving my head. I think I was 26 or 27 and never looked back. So You know, the nice part about it is like it kind of keeps you like, as long as you have your skin regimen like going quite well, then no one ever really knows. Is he still 27? Is he 87? Is he in between?
I
Like,
don't,
because
I don't
we
think
kind of
anybody's
look the
asking.
same.
I don't think anybody's asking if you're 87, but I do think people are remarking on the beautiful dome shape. I mean, don't you think that only parents in recent years have learned to put helmets on their children, but somehow your parents kept that dome nice and round?
Yeah, it's worked out. So like honestly, I've just embraced the Mr. Clean aesthetic for all these years, and you know, when it works, it
Oh,
works.
and it works. I was that kid who looked at the Mr. Clean mascot and said, "Yes, please. Clean. I
I
have
mean,
a
not no,
thick
for sure
spill
not
over
no.
here." Not no. Well, you also have a gorgeous husband, which I want to talk about. But let's get into some of Jeff Consoletti's history. And I'm going to ask you the gay ass podcast question, which is, whose fault is it that you're gay? Who do we blame, even, babe?
I mean, hands down, Madonna. Um, and I have an aunt that, you know, everyone has an aunt that's like kind of the kooky aunt. And she was really just like my kooky, fun aunt. She got married later in life. I'm the oldest of like all of this, my siblings and cousins, et cetera, my family. And she took me to, I grew up in Boston, and she took me like almost like, it was probably like once a month. I'd have like Jeff weekend with my aunt in Boston. And like she was the cool aunt. I could stay up late. She had all of the gay friends,
Oh,
and she gave me Madonna's Immaculate Collection, which I listened to from morning till night as often as I could. So much so where I had my own choreography to Like a Prayer
yeah, you did.
that I did with such like earnestness that like I didn't even know I had continued the like, that's like a long track. It's like what, like 6.5 minutes. It goes on forever. And I think my eyes were closed, and my mom had come back probably from her like jazzercise or something. And there I was like in the living room, fully on my knees doing like my Like a Prayer choreo.
Give us
And
give us the age. How old were you?
I had to be like 7, 8, like really like full on in, like going for it. And yeah, my mom just being like, "What are you listening to?" And I'm just like, "Don't worry about it. New Kids on the
Yeah.
Block." But like
Oh no.
fully
See, I was just gonna say there is a certain abandon to like a 7-year-old boy who doesn't yet realize how gay he's supposed to not be. But I feel like if you were sort of like, you're also in Boston, you're the oldest of all these kids. You probably were maybe starting to learn that you were supposed to be a dude, but you still knew deep in your guts that the choreography of Madonna's Like a Prayer needed to be performed.
like I knew that like I felt like I couldn't say it was Madonna, and that
Yeah.
like I had the Madonna CD
Yeah.
already like blasting, but that for sure was like first album. And like I mean, I think I still have it somewhere. I mean, obviously who's not listening to Madonna's
Right.
Immaculate Collection every day?
Well, I do have to ask, as a self-proclaimed gay journalist, before I ask about this iconic aunt of yours, how do you feel about Madonna's she's releasing now what, a sequel to uh
Confessions, yeah.
Confessions, and it's coming out this summer. I Some people feel like it's a bad sign when you do a sequel so many years later. Some people think it's going to be incredible. Jeff Consoletti, where do you stand on the political spectrum of Madonna's return?
I'm ready for it. She's the queen of reinventing herself, or I don't know if reinventing's the word, just like progressing
Yeah,
herself from like
evolving.
era to era. And like, when has Madonna really done wrong? Like, who's really upset that here's this woman in her 60s now that still has all of our attention wrapped right around her little pinky? And Confessions is arguably one of, you know, the great pop dance crossover albums of
Yeah,
all time. So
yeah.
like, yeah, give me the sequel. Like, let's go.
So
And
when people
industry
ask,
fodder from like, she's from those that I am ish connected to. I
uh-huh.
have not heard it, but industry fodder is that we shall not be disappointed. So we'll have to wait and see. But
Do you mind if I start using the term industry fodder?
No, I think you should.
I think it's a
Does that
really
even make sense, actually?
It does. You know, industry fodder is saying, like, I think that's actually a beautiful phrase, and I will be using it to a disgusting degree. So when people say like, "Who's your diva?" It's kind of clear that Madonna is yours. Yeah.
Yeah, Madonna's mine. I mean, it's evolved, and I was like an OG like Gaga follower. So I remember like, I had the star painted across my face and like went with my gays from college. I think it was like after either our sophomore or junior year, like we followed her in like a club tour throughout Europe, like staying in rando hostels and like we're following Gaga. I feel like I have been at like every single moment of like her career and have even gotten to work with her. So she, and I think she takes inspo from Madonna. So to kind of
Oh yeah.
see that trajectory.
So in a way, you have sort of weaponized your stand-up as a gay guy for good, which is that you've put all of your beautiful fannery energy into producing these festivals that will sort of like capitalize on queer people loving our pop divas. In fact, if I may, you have a really great quote in an interview recently where you said, "We're in the middle of a global pop girl renaissance, and OUTLOUD, who is producing WeHo Pride, that's your organization, it stands at the center of it all. Queer fans have always stood at the center of driving pop success. What I'm seeing today is synonymous with moments we saw surrounding Madonna, Britney, Mariah, Christina, the Spice Girls, and even a young Gaga almost 20 years ago. I mean, hello, you are championing the pop girls because you are a gay guy with what? Taste. And thank God for the Jeff Consolettis who are in the mix of industry fodder."
It's fun, it's fun to see. I mean, when you even hear that list, I'm like, wait, did I say that? Wow. But like us as gay men, like we support and shown up for our pop girlies, right?
Yes.
Like they have been there, and whether we're talking about these icons from 10, 15, 20, whatever it is, years ago,
Yeah.
the Chers of it all, like, I mean, the Barbaras of it all, like these are people that have had an allegiance to the LGBT community forever, always, so it's great. It's great to bring them home,
Oh my God, yeah. And I think it's also a testament to not only the sort of artists who have made gay kids feel so seen, but also just like the girls at the lunch tables in school that made us feel safe just like on a day-to-day basis. Like, I don't know about you, but I was that kid that had 3 straight brothers, and all of my friends at school were all girls. It's, the girls were the people I felt safe with. And so I just want to know some of your lore. If you say you're the oldest of these kids, how many kids, and are we brothers and sisters? What are we talking?
I have 2 younger sisters, but I'm from a big Italian family in Boston, and it's all women. I am the oldest, and I have my tribe of girls. And when I was home, we produced the DJ Meredith Marks global phenomenon. That is DJ Meredith Marks. We created that and produced it. I took all of my sisters, I call them all my sisters, to the show and in Boston. And like Meredith was even like, wait, there's more of your family? So like I walked the walk of like, I played football. I did like all the things. I also did theater. And then I like had my own like built-in theater troupe where it would be holidays and I cast the show. And it was from like Thanksgiving dinner was like from audition to full production. By the end of the day, everyone with their parts, some people crying and being like, get it together. We are moving on. We're moving on to the next scene. You can do this. And like,
Jeff, cutthroat. Wait, are you talking original spectacles? Are you producing like abridged versions of musicals? What are your friends having to live through?
It was kind of wherever like it would take us. There we lived in this like 2-story Victorian home, and when it was wintertime, there would be these like icicles that literally could probably kill you that would hang off the side of the home that would be like literally 6 feet tall. And I would hang out the window to break it off the side of the house to bring in where we would then perform some like OG, something that we create called like Ice Queen, the musical or whatever, with like So like that would be an example of like, no, we needed our own story because that was the environment and set around us. And honestly, all my fam like leaned in, and they're like, anytime I'm like, and now I'm doing this, they're all like, of course Jeff is, like, you know, like.
So then that begs the question, if you were growing up as this like on a win tour of your friends, your family is seeing Jeff be gay as hell, but also do the football, the boy drag. When you did come out, was your big Italian family mostly supportive? Because I feel like there is in Italian families such a macho-ness with like men being like, you know, the head of the house and boo boo bop.
And like, I think if you were just like looking in, no volume, you know, my parents are like Tony and Carmela Soprano. Like they're even kind of, they look like them, and they're like personality wise. But my dad is, and always was like this, he's a big softie. Like he'll start telling a story and like just start crying. Like, and we're just like, Big John, like, you're good. You're good, buddy. So like I think when I look back on it now, it feels like I was doing the things because I felt like I had to or was more programmed to, but not necessarily because I was being forced to.
Yeah.
And when I came out, I was fully prepared. Like, that's it. I have to come out. I was 19. I was already in school in Washington, D.C. It was like my first trip back home, and I couldn't wait to go to college to just be like, I'm finally gay, like we can say this. And I came home just being like, okay, like I've never been lying to my family ever, and I feel like I got to clue them in, but I need to be prepared that they're going to be like, get the F out. And they weren't for even 1 second. Like they were like, no problem. And for me, I think partly it's like how I grew up, and it was a very supportive household, and just, you know, everyone, I had a very blessed childhood. And I say this because like I didn't have this like transformative moment. I didn't really I'm kind of the same. I was the same then. Like I've always been confident, and I've always been able to like feel like I have a seat at the table, and I've always been a helper of those around me. Like I wasn't withdrawn even as a young child. So I think when I would go to like football practice to then theater rehearsal, you know, if there was some dick in high school that was like, oh, Conso, what are you doing? I'd be like, what the fuck? What do you have to say about it? And do you want me to tell your girlfriend what you were looking at in the shower?
Jeff,
and like, you know, so I could shut it down with confidence. It's not to say that I didn't have like behind the scenes sadness, but
Conso, is that what you said they called you?
Conso, it's my like nickname, my like bro nickname.
I usually hate bro nicknames, but Conso for you actually kind of works, and I'm not mad at it.
So I go home, and like a lot of my like straight friends, like they still call me Conso, which I kind of like. I like it. Like,
well, so let me give then a tease to the listeners, because once we go to the Substack portion of this at the end, I do want to hear about you sort of going to DC and showing your gay flag. First boy kissing. I want to hear about Boston closet cases that you throated. I want to hear about your slut stories as of late. Whatever you're willing to tell whatever you're willing to tell Conso, I'm going to make you fucking spill it for the paid girlies. But before we get over to the Substack, let's do a quick pivot into some of Jeff's lore as an adult. In a different interview, you were talking about living in West Hollywood, and you say that one of your recommendations is the Sunset Tower Hotel because you're, quote, a martini drinker. So any place that can shake an icy cold martini is good by me. Be honest, Jeff. Do you like martinis because they get you drunk the fastest?
Correct.
And what are you hiding from? What are you running from?
No, I mean, it's just like, let's get to the point. Number one, I don't have time for a mixer. Like, I don't have time. Like when people are like, or like when the cocktail menu comes at a restaurant and everyone needs to be like, oh, the Blue Mermaid. Oh, look, what's in the Blue Mermaid? Oh, and it's got this and egg white and what, like, I don't need, I'm here for a meal. I'm going to eat a meal. I just need to drink my icy cold Kettle One straight up with a twist. Like, just deliver that to me and I am happy. And
Okay,
then
for
like let's
somebody,
order all of the apps and all of the entrees. Like that is what I want. That is what I want to consume. I would just like to have my icy cold martini and then another and then another. And if we go to another after that, it's probably a problem.
so this explains the raspy voice.
Yes. I mean,
Are you the
got full
dom of the
voice.
table? Are you ordering for your husband? Is that what Conso's doing?
Yeah, with Rob, 100%. Rob will like plan a dinner and like we'll be with like his friends or even family, and then we'll sit there, and then he's just like, okay, so, and I'm like, oh, so I'm okay. I understand. I'm ordering now. Got it.
Okay, so
But
this is
I am
really,
a good orderer.
I'm sure you are, but I think this is not very much discussed when it comes to actual relationships and maybe queer relationships, which is like if you have two people of the same gender, we're not exactly going to play the roles that society hath given us. So the question is, who's the orderer at the table? Who is the chatty Cathy at the bar? I'm the chatty Cathy at the bar. I'm the annoying one, but the tables have started to turn because I used to be the orderer, but my husband Matt does not like that I try to become friends with the server. And so lately he's been taking the reins, and it's actually been sort of hot, but also devastating because I like to be the talker.
Yeah, of course. Rob, as he's like also gotten a little older and we've been together for a long time, he also is like now suddenly like doming every situation. And I'm just like,
Is there a power struggle, or
I'm
are you
like,
okay with him doing that?
I mean, right now I'm like, people are gonna be like, oh, he's not okay with that. I actually think I am okay with it, but I find it like, oh, so all of a sudden now, like
Well,
16 years later, like we're
yeah.
ready
Oh,
for it.
interesting. What are you, Madonna, and having a change? You are an Italiano, and I feel like from watching the Giudice Family enough that I can say that all Italians are screamers. I'm not going to be canceled for that. Are you an angry screamer, Jeff?
Not any. I used to be. I feel like in my 30s, I was like, I was building JJLA, like everything just felt like so high stakes, and I was
Yeah.
all in on like the business. And I think sometimes that got the best of me, and like the littlest thing would turn into this like reactionary moment. And in my 40s, I'm like so chill. Like I mean, I don't know if I'm so chill, but like I'm definitely, I don't,
You have
I
more
don't
perspective now.
react like that
Yeah.
anymore. I don't get real, like I've found that I can take on a role of like advisor and
Yeah.
helper and
Yeah.
like coach, um, and be much more thoughtful with my responses and strategic with like how we're growing and developing things. I don't think Out Loud could have existed in my even though it was an idea in my 30s, like it took to my 40s to like really get it to come together and power it forward. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of that has to do with just like finding yourself and like adapting to yourself in a better way.
How can you help us anxious, overthinking type A girlies who are ambitious realize that the freaking out and whether it's the screaming or the worrying won't serve us? How'd you get there?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's okay to like to have those feelings and freak out. I think for those, and like for you, I think you were talking about this on a recent previous episode, but you're finding yourself as like you're an entrepreneur now. You're running your business, and like
Yeah.
even regardless if like you're a business owner that's out there, like when you have your own ideas or you care about something deeply, it's really easy to get strung out in it. But number one, like that is 100% normal. Like if you believe in yourself and your ideas and like something that you're passionate about and how you're going to push it forward, like there has to be a little bit of crazy baked in that, and a little bit of like, just a little bit of angst that you should use to empower yourself to push that forward. But I think what you also have to keep in mind is as you push forward, you have to remain grounded and confident. You need to know who your network is to like seek out help on the side, know when to ask for help, and know that like you can't possibly be the expert in all of the things that it takes to pull off that great next creative idea. And
Oh,
that
yes.
is also something that I think I found in how we've developed Out Loud. Like 10 or 12 years ago, I think I would have thought it could only have been me, that I'm the only person that could have pulled this off, and that
Yeah.
like, and Out Loud and where Out Loud is now and how it has developed is so much bigger than me. Like I'm a little part of it. Like
Well, there's also, I
I'm like,
read,
you know, leading it for sure. And like, but like it is a critical group of set of creative, queer, fun, vibrant, smart, like such dedicated people that, you know, work so hard to bring this vision to life. And like
no,
it could
that's,
not be what it is without them. And I think that's where the angst is, like, you're not in it alone. You gotta look to those that are around you that are supporting that.
well, especially when you're like a group of queer people working in high stakes industry like events and working with, I mean, you even have in these interviews talking about how you like try to land a unicorn for every year of Pride, where you're trying to land these big names. And as somebody who's also constantly booking people on a podcast or a live show or whatever the fuck, it is a rat
And then you
race,
think
one
you
might
have
say.
them, but then like, nope, there's a
Oh,
hole in the net, and like they get
well,
away.
I mean, it's
Like,
also like you think you either have them before they book, or they do book and then they cancel. I feel like I've gotten a lot better at the emotional roller coaster of like, okay, they canceled. It's not that my job now is to feel devastated. My job now is to have a quick moment of like, damn, that sucks. And now what are we gonna do? I will say this because it's just literally hot off the presses, but I'm, you know, doing this podcast and this solo show, and I'm trying to get booked in different
which
cities.
was great,
But
by the way.
God bless you. Oh yeah, Jeff, you came. Thank you so much for coming. Um,
Congrats. Not
thank you
an
so
easy
much.
thing to be a touring artiste, and hats off. That's
Thank you,
amazing.
Jeff. Well, you know as well as anyone, but I also am finally starting to audition for like some like TV and commercially things. And I just found out literally an hour ago that I'm on a veil for like a really big commercial. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I had to ask a robot what on a veil means, because I had forgotten because it's been so long. And on a veil for a commercial means you didn't book it. It means that you might book it. And I just want to make sure you're actually available. But I could be in a group of like 5 people for this one part and still not get it. So I saw the email, had a moment of like, yay, I'm great. And then then Googled it and then was like, okay, so I'm less excited. But I'm also like, I had to manage my excitement because very big chance I won't get it. But also, I should still
But
take the
also
win
the
as it
chance that you
is.
could.
Yeah, and it's the same thing like when you book somebody and then they cancel. It's like I'm not a piece of shit because they canceled. It's just I have another challenge. So that to me is the hard thing about like maybe it's the industry or just like being a creative person. It's like you have to really gauge your own emotions, or you have to really like have ownership of like you're still going to survive if something doesn't happen. If somebody
100%. I mean, it's, you're a Broadway guy like me, like the show's got to go on. And, you know, we had Out Loud last year was just like, it was just one of those years where just like, it just, things just kept shifting.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had, we had a big unicorn headliner that then like dropped out last minute. But like, luckily before we announced, we were able to land Lizzo, which was great. Little Nas then went through everything that he went through. So he dropped out of the show. Obviously, we were announced when that happened. So then we had to very quickly pivot to a replacement. We replaced with Remy Wolf, who's a wonderful artist, queer. Like we wanted to have another queer representation in the top line of the bill, opposite Lizzo. But like, you know, at the time, I don't know that Remy like the same is the same person that bought a ticket to a Little Nas Lizzo show buying a ticket to a Remy Wolf show. No. So like, you know, like it just changes the like the fabric of the show, so to speak. But at the same point, like the show's got to keep moving forward. And Remy stepped in and did an incredible job. And like the show still came across as another wonderful, joyful Pride season and in West Hollywood. So like as much as behind the scenes, it just felt like we were getting like, you know, challenge after challenge. It all
Yeah.
works itself out.
Well, and I, want to also co-sign or just really underline the importance of the Pride Festival period, because it is not only one of the biggest in the country. I love to see people in New York get jealous of our lineups. It like brings like a weird sense of annoying pride in me. But also, Pride as a whole is very much in trouble. There's an article that you were interviewed for where it says that Tucson Pride, which was founded in 1977, canceled its 2026 festival. A lot of other festivals have lost funding. SF Pride lost around 200 to 300K last year. New York City had a 750K shortfall when all these big companies pulled out. But West Hollywood is not a part of that trajectory. West Hollywood is funding a huge portion of the festival, contracting it. They shut down the whole city for like a over mile-long festival activations, and so it's so amazing. And I want to thank you for what you have done to create such a meaningful but also loud, splashy pride for the people in LA and West Hollywood, because it is a political statement, whether, you know, we think it is or not. So I'm sure that probably feels meaningful to you as well.
It does, for sure. It's empowering, it's humbling, it's like it feels important. I mean, we're very lucky to have a municipality like the city of West Hollywood grounding us right in the middle of a major metro area like LA. Few and far between. I mean, I've said this. I've been fortunate enough to work in I live in West Hollywood. I've been fortunate enough to work there. It's like feels like home court, you know. Like it's great. Like I've also been fortunate to work all over the world, and to come home and pull off what we can do in West Hollywood. It's second to none, because I've worked on New York Pride. I worked on World Pride in New York, SF Pride, just big events like all over the country. And the way that West Hollywood embraces a culture of events, whether it's Pride or not, is unlike any other municipality. And for Pride in particular, yeah, the city is carving out not just like a couple $100,000, like millions of dollars to drive, you know, to make an event free and accessible over that mile. And yes, OUTLOUD. So like, we're fortunate that like OUTLOUD gets to exist as part of it, and that the city, in our role as producer, we produce all of WeHo Pride, and then we own and operate the OUTLOUD Music Festival. The city doesn't fund the OUTLOUD Music Festival, but they give us the space to do it because we're able to anchor the music festival and like, you know, world-renowned talent, essentially by building a venue in the middle of the city. So like, you have your free programming, you have a free parade, you have street fair, you can buy a ticket if you want to, you don't have to, like, and I do like how that model has just taken shape, and it feels, you know, we're definitely very proud of it, but it could not happen without the municipal partnership.
Well, then, I mean, it's also, you know, can't be understated too how legit OUTLOUD has created the festival. Like I've only been in LA for like 4.5 years, and my first Pride here, I went to WeHo Pride, and I was gagged by the production of it all, by the giant screens, by like, I mean, for example, a friend of mine is Vincent, the incredible performer, singer. When Vincent performed at WeHo Pride, this is before I knew Vincent, and I was just like gagged by the size of the stage and the audience. And I also saw some of like my biggest crushes from the internet dancing in the field. I mean, what a goddamn dream. Also to see Idina Menzel on that stage was like, I felt like I was on Molly, which I've never done. I might be doing it in this next year of my life because I want to live a full life, but I will report back to you, Jeff Consoletti, and the listeners. Before we go over to Subsect, though, let's get a few more final questions in, since you brought up being a theater queen yourself. Idina Menzel was huge. Are there any other big, either Broadway names, or if you could go back in time and give us a Broadway star?
Well, we share our affinity for the Sutton Foster. Like,
oh, I knew you had good
taste. If I'm having a bad day, the Thoroughly Modern Millie soundtrack always hits. always hits.
What's your
And
track? Are you a Forget About the Boy girl? Are
I
you
love Forget About the Boy. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you have to start with that. And I just want to get to any end track where it's just big, brassy, and full. And my like non-Broadway husband, even he knows like Sutton Foster. That voice will come on and he's like, oh, it's a Sutton Foster day. And when we drive back from Palm Springs, this was like very when you have the Sirius FM radio, whatever, the Broadway station in the car.
Oh yeah.
Like, he knows on Sunday afternoons, like that's what we're turning on our Sirius as we drive back. Like now we can just put on the Broadway listening the track on Amazon or Spotify, but I still like to the old school like Sirius FM Broadway station.
Oh, my dad would turn it on when I was a kid, and it was one of the first things we like bonded over. And I just love a Sutton Foster. I think that
I don't love the Drowsy Chaperone, but I love
the fuck is wrong with you?
But I love everything, all of her other work.
Well, now we have to cancel the rest of the interview, and I need to teach you a fucking lesson. Drowsy Chaperone is important to me, but I can also respect, this is why queer people can thrive, because we can understand that not all of us are the same, and not all of us understand the actual beauty of The Drowsy Chaperone by Bob Martin, starring Beth Level and Sutton Foster and Hugh and Georgia Engel and Danny Burstein. Anyways, we don't have to talk about Drowsy Chaperone as much as I'm wanting to write that wrong. Okay, so let's flip this over to Substack. Jeff Consoletti, your final question on the main feed is, if the world was ending, you could only save one character actress, who would you save?
Laura Dern. Like,
breathe it in, girls.
Jurassic Park is one of my all-time favorite movies, so much so where as a senior in high school, whenever it came out, sometime in my high school era, me and my besties, Jill and Adam, who are both gay now as well.
Shout out.
We still, and if anyone from NBC Universal is listening, we still own JurassicParkTheMusical.com.net, Jurassic Park themusical.com, and have written an amazing book to Jurassic Park the Musical that I feel like all of these connections will somehow align. But if they think they're going to do it without getting JurassicParkTheMusical.com, I have maintained those domains for all of these years.
Universal?
Because of Laura Dern. And
well, listen,
affinity and love for Laura Dern.
Jeff, you truly have known your life's mission from the jump, and that is to get Jurassic Park the Musical on Broadway and also on the World Wide Web. Jeff, you said the book is great. Are we leaving the music for the last?
Well, I mean, you have to go with the John Williams score, which also, if you would like to license that to us.
Yeah, no, I see it. Who are we casting as the Laura Dern role? Is it Laura Dern coming back, or are we going to go for someone else?
I mean, I feel like Laura would actually maybe take a look and could still
that's a true producer. She'll take a look.
I feel like she would maybe take a look. But I don't know. Could Ariana DeBois make a very interesting, full voice, little frantic, looking off stage,
Okay, you're acting it out right now, and now I'm seeing the dinosaurs, and it's
they're behind me. They're in the room.
Julie Taymor is, of course, being consulted for the puppetry. Mm-hmm. I really can see Jurassic Park the Musical.com having its moment in the sun. Jeff, maybe we should do a stage
reading at OUTLOUD in June.
Listen, if you need someone to read the stage directions,
and then the Velociraptor comes out,
you know who to hit up. Jeff Consoletti, it has been a gosh darn dream. I hope everybody in Los Angeles and across the country is able to enjoy the WeHo Pride. Also, let it be known that you're in Boston as well this year. I'll stop giving any plugs and just have you, Jeff, tell these listeners where to follow you and anything you would like for them to know.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for today. And we would love to see anyone and everyone come to WeHo Pride, and certainly come and see the Pussycat Dolls, Jade, Ava Max, and 60 some odd other very queer or very allied artists at Out Loud Music Festival. Tickets are at outloudmusicfestival.com. You can follow us at Officially Out Loud. You can follow me at Jeff Cons. And yeah, it's all happening in just a few. I think we're 50 something days out from Pride season. So wake the F up, mother effers. Can we swear on podcasts? I never know.
I prefer that you do. Wake the fuck up, motherfuckers. Start doing your
Pride
stretches.
season. Summer is here.
That's right.
It's our season next. We're out of, it's no more just spring, summer is next. So
they're letting us out of our homes and into the streets. And I hope to see you all there at WeHo Pride and Conso. I will definitely be seeing you there or at the housewarming for my Palm Springs home whenever that happens.
You can come hang out here. So
Done.
Invited anytime.
That's a gay ass name for a gay ass podcast.